Travel is a pretty personal topic, and everybody travels in their own style. While a lot of people love to fly and stay in hotels, my husband and I prefer to travel in our RV. In fact, we prefer our RV so much that we moved into it full-time back in early 2017. Yep, we're full-time RVers, and one of our primary motivators in becoming full-timers is our goal of financial independence. But you don't have to be a full-time RVer to enjoy camping or to save money. In 2018, the RV Industry Association projected that 25 million people would be taking a vacation in their RV, with 5.8 million having used their RVs that Memorial Day weekend alone. So maybe one of those RVers is you? If so, or even if you're just researching RVing and have discovered that the nightly rates at RV parks aren't as financially appealing as you imagined, don't worry. After 3 years of full-timing, I've learned a few things about how to save money on RV parks, and I'm going to share my tips with you. RV clubs are great for a lot of reasons. They often provide you access to roadside assistance programs, insurance discounts, and, most importantly, discounts on weekly and daily rates at RV parks. We rarely stay at RV parks for less than a month because monthly rates are typically the most heavily discounted. By comparison, nightly and weekly rates can be very high. I've seen them as high as $90 per night in popular areas like the Black Hills of South Dakota. But with an RV club membership, you can get a percentage taken off those nightly and weekly rates, and that can save you substantial money over time. The actual discount will often vary by park, but the important part is to keep an eye out for RV club logos on a park's website or simply ask about any available discounts when you make your reservation. You can quickly recoup the cost of your membership after just a few nights at an RV park, and then you're saving every night from there. I've been a member of both the Good Sam Club and Escapees RV Club for many years. As of December 2019, Good Sam membership costs $29 a year, and Escapees is $39.95 for a New Year-long membership for U.S. residents. Other popular RV discount clubs and programs include Passport America, COA, and FMCA. If you travel with family, becoming a member of full-time families can also unlock further valuable campground discounts. Having a Thousand Trails camping pass allows you to pick one camping zone and stay at the parks in that zone for up to 14 days with no nightly charge. There are 5 different zones, and each has a fair number and variety of campgrounds available. Be aware, though, that if you're planning to be on the road for a longer trip that you can't just go from one Thousand Trails park to the next. If you stay at one of their parks for more than 4 consecutive nights, you then have to be out of the system for 7 days before you can check in to your next Thousand Trails park. With that in mind, Thousand Trails is great for people who plan to travel frequently, but for periods of 2 weeks or less. It's also great for people who don't mind either paying for other accommodations for a week in between or who enjoy short spurts of boondocking, camping without being hooked up to utilities. Many people who get a free year pass go on to pass for additional zones in the Thousand Trails system or renew their membership the following year, hence why they give them out for free to new RV owners. If Thousand Trails sounds like it might be a good fit for you and your RV shopping, be sure to ask your salesperson about this free year incentive. My husband and I considered staying at one in Bullhead City, Arizona, just because it looked so enjoyable, even though we knew it meant sitting through a sales talk. When we wavered about staying while on the phone with a representative, they started offering us more and more free days. We ultimately decided to literally go another direction, more on where we ended up in the next section. But taking advantage of this sort of incentive is in the back of our minds for the future if we want to save money and stay somewhere a little posh. If you decide to try the timeshare trick, remember not to be too eager so that you can get as many free days as possible. And, also, let me know how it goes. So, where did we go instead of staying in a free timeshare in Arizona? New Mexico. Giving the advice to go to New Mexico probably sounds random, but stick with me for a moment. If you're an experienced camper, you probably already know that state parks are generally an expensive way to RV for any length of time. If you're not an experienced camper yet, well, be aware that state parks are an expensive way to RV for any length of time. But there is one huge exception, New Mexico. Essentially what this pass does is get you up to $10 per day off the regular camping fees. So if a full hookup site, one with electric, water, and septic connections, costs $18 normally, you only pay $8 per night. If you're willing to boondock, which is normally $8 per night, then you can camp for free. For a year, even if you choose to camp with utility hookups, and even taking into consideration the annual fee, that comes out to a very small fee per night in comparison to a typical RV park. And it's a great deal even in comparison to other state park programs. For example, in Colorado, an annual state park pass for one vehicle will only cost you $80, as of December 2019, but that doesn't get you any discount on camping. You will pay $32 minus $41 per night for an RV spot in addition to that annual pass. Each park has some spots that are set aside for first come, first served, and others are available to book through the online reservation system, with an additional fee per reservation. If you know you're headed to a popular destination, the reservation fee can be worthwhile. That said, if you're willing to wait in the boondocking areas, which are typically massive and gorgeous, you can also try the first come, first served strategy and just boondock at no charge until a site with utility hookups becomes available. The RV Club Good Sam also offers its own credit card, the Good Sam Rewards Visa, which is issued by Comenity Bank. This card will get you 5x points on purchases through Good Sam, Camping World, and Gander Outdoors, 3x points at campgrounds and gas stations, and 1x points everywhere else. Rewards can be redeemed for cashback, Good Sam memberships, gift cards, and more.